Welcome back to What the Hell Is He Doing? I mean, welcome back to Rutomotive. Another episode of What the Hell Is He Doing? Still a Chevelle, of course. This is my life right now, is this damn car. But she's getting there. And by that, I mean I'm almost at the point of putting crap back together. So excited for that. Um, I did find some more rust. I'm really hoping I can just fill fill that with welds. I'm going to take a shot at it. You won't see that recording because, well, I'm not great at welding. But what we are doing in this episode is body mounts. Let me find that damn work instruction. I got buried in this mess of a shop. Bump it down. Right there. So this is what I'll be working on today. Now the trunk ones won't get done right now, of course, because there's no trunk. I do have to go through and kind of clean things up. I don't know if I'm going to get it outside for the pressure washer. It is freaking winter. It's cold out. It's raining as well. I don't know that I want to deal with all that. Maybe I'll figure that out at that point. I do need to get a wire wheel out, clean up all the surface rust, and paint that with some rust protector before the roof goes on as well. So, how am I doing the body mounts by myself? And am I going to do it correctly? Well, I hope so. Now, my plan is there are 3 on this side. I think only 2 of them are bolted in. So I will take those out. I will get my jack under there. I will lift this side up, pop out the old ones, pop in the new ones, let it down, rinse, lather, repeat on the other side. Now, of course, it sounds easy, and we'll see if it actually goes that easy. But that is where I am at for, I don't even want to say today, because if that's all I get done today, I'm going to be very disappointed in myself. But that's where I'm starting. That is the first point. But that'll be the video, right? I don't want to do too much in one video. Still a small channel. I don't want to be giving you guys hour-long videos because I'm not that good at making the videos yet. Um, Let me know down below if you want me to start narrating over the work. Um, I haven't done that yet. Could learn how to. Pretty sure it's rather simple. So if that is what you guys are interested in, rather than just the music playing, let me know, and I'll take a shot at that and see how that goes. Um, I noticed a lot of the bigger channels do that. With that, don't forget to like and subscribe either. I've got plenty of content coming, right? My dream has been cars since I was a teenager. I ain't a teenager no more. I've got a lot of wild ideas, and the Chevelle's kind of the start of not even the wild ideas. The Chevelle is just getting a car on the road. 39 will be the start of the wild ideas. And then, maybe I'll circle back to the Chevelle and we'll go wild on it too. But right now, the Chevelle, I want to be a grocery getter. I'm gonna put a system in it. I'm gonna use it for drag and drive. I'm gonna use it for driving, putting big ass tires on it. I'm gonna put some fender flares because you don't ever see flares on the Chevelle. You do see a lot of, well, I don't want to say a lot, but starting to see a couple wide body at SEMA, which is dope, right? I've dreamed of that forever, and I don't have that skill level yet. Maybe one day, and I don't even know if that'll be what the Chevelle does. We'll see how it looks with the flares, because again, I'm going 20-inch rims, 28-inch tall tires. It's gonna be thick. That's the goal. Thick. And that's enough rambling. Let's see if I can figure out these body mounts. So I did listen to your guys' feedback, and I got a mic. Now, sadly, all of this was recorded months before I got a mic, so you're still going to see a few videos of me talking about getting a mic and asking for your feedback. I did listen to your feedback, and here we go with it. Now, I'm going to work on what information you want to get out of what I'm doing, and I'm going to work on the sound too. I know the mic sound and my shop sound aren't anywhere near the same, two very different level of microphones. Now, to the actual build. What you're watching right now is me fighting the wrong size. So when you're doing these body mount bushings, you can't actually see the bolt in there, right? You've got, well, that's not true. If I laid under the car, I'd be able to see it, but I wasn't going to do that. That's too much work. But you can fill through the one hole. You can kind of reach up through the frame, fill the bolt up in there. What I did was I measured, well, I didn't measure. I tested the size off of the brand new bolt, and that one, the head was just a different size. Now, getting the back out wasn't too bad once I figured out the right size. The fun part with the front, though, is that you've got this stupid square nut. So once you break it loose, she'll just spin. And the back one, of course, tightens up into the body, so it's more of like a tap, or I don't want to say a PEM because it's probably not what it is, but it's threaded in there, right, and it's stopped. So it could even be a welded bolt on the inside of that. But the front was a square nut, and I was like, maybe I can get this with pliers. No, you can't. The Milwaukee's just got a little too much torque for that. So what I ended up doing was I got like an inch and a half wrench, whatever it was that fit the square, and I kind of jammed it up against the side wall so it'd hold in place, and then I broke her loose that way. Now from there you want to jack the body up. Now I didn't go too high because, well, I didn't want to tip over the car. Um, you really just need it high enough to get those bushings out. So it's really just a couple inches. And what you don't see, because of course I've got the video sped up, is that when I'm taking out the old ones, I'm also putting in the new ones. That part of it's not too bad, right? You've got the polyurethane and then you got the brass bushing that goes up in there. From underneath, it's a little more of a pain. So you've got the bolt and washers that you've kind of got to float up in there, and you've got to line it up through 3 holes and then find the tap. Now the front was a nut, that one was much easier. The back one was a little bit of floating around and finding that hole. Once that went through, though, it wasn't too bad. Hindsight, watching this really got me thinking a little more of what I could have done is I could have actually left the body lifted just a little bit so that that bushing had some wiggle room, right? Because right now I've got all of the weight on what is remaining of the Chevelle pressed down on that bushing, and that's preventing it from moving at all. So thankfully the holes lined up well enough to get the bolt in there and get it torqued down. And it's really going to be a lot of the same on the other side, minus the amount of struggle I went through on that first side trying to figure things out. So you'll see on this side just really how fast this process is. And in all reality, I think it maybe took me an hour with all the struggling, maybe a little more. I'm trying to remember back 2 months ago of what the hell I was doing. And of course, why I cleaned the shop beforehand when I can just struggle through this. This side is, you know, much easier to figure out. So the fun part with this mic thing too is trying to figure out what to talk about on these slow jobs. So yeah, it's a whole lot of the same, but you do have, the bushing sandwiched in between, and then bolts and multiple washers, and it's a really simple process. It's kind of why I'm running out of things to say on this video. It's because even though I struggled a bit, once you've done this, I think every single time after it will be simpler. One thing to make sure of when you're lifting the body like this, since you are jacking up on the body, make sure you have a piece of wood in there. This way you're not putting all that pressure into one spot on the body and risking damaging the body. Hindsight, I probably should have used a longer 2x4 so I could disperse that pressure a little bit, but live and you learn. One thing you might notice as I lower this back down is, one, the rear of this car actually did move quite a bit when you take that weight off. So I think that shows that I did have that side lifted a little bit too high. Now, the second thing you might notice, which I'll give you a better angle of later, is that it does raise the body a bit, putting it on those new bushings. The old ones were tired. They're real rough and didn't have much, if any, life left to them, which is probably why the car got real floaty over 100 miles per hour. But it did lift the body. I wouldn't be surprised if it was another half an inch, right? So that's really only body clearance. It doesn't help with the fact that the tires on the front were just way too damn small in the first place. So now she has body mounts. Well, half. Actually, less than half. I got 6 of them in though. So the body of what's left is now sitting on the new polyurethane bushings. Me. Just for reference, this is what the old guys look like. It was one of the better ones. They're in there now, where they belong. I still got the trunk to do, but of course there's no trunk, so there's no point putting them on. We got these little fellers; they'll get switched out as well. So, getting there. It definitely, yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to tell, but I am sitting a little higher on the frame now. Actually, you might actually be able to see the front bushing. Yeah, look at that, fancy. So that one's in there. Well, all of these ones are here. Of course, there's going to be ones for the core support and then the 6 in the back. Super easy swap, actually. And I think the full body wouldn't be that terrible either. If you go through, you take out one side, you take your jack and a 2x4. I probably should have ran a longer 2x4 than what I did, but it worked. And you just lift the body an inch, maybe 2 inches. You can definitely tell when you're high enough up. And you literally just need enough room to get that old bushing out. So it's super easy. And yeah, I mean, the hardest part was that stupid square nut in the front because, well, it's a square nut. So I had to find the right size wrench. And then, yeah, either way, got that figured out, got that done too. So, and the energy suspension actually replaces the square nut. Let's go back to the front since it was the only one that actually used the square nuts. Oh, can you see in there? No, you can't. Well, you can see it there, but you can't tell enough to see what it is. Can't use flash on ultrawide. Cool. Never mind. My phone's being crap. So I can't flash in there. But either way, it changed out the square nut for a much better nut. I'm not exactly sure the type of nut it is. Kind of like a flange nut. And then the other nuts that I think go to the core support were also replaced with nylock. So that'll be nice. Keep that a little more stable up front as well. Now the next part of this process you're not going to see, and that's going to be me flappy disking all of this wheel well crap out, and then flappy disking any material that's still left in the way. Where I will come back is when I start to wire wheel everything I'm going to paint. Now I'm not painting any of this, even though I probably should. It's just, yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't see the value in it right now. I'm not going to that level of car show with the Chevelle at this point. One day for sure, I will make a tube chassis for this thing and I'll get rid of the stock chassis. But that's years down the road. That's after this baby's on the road. Because, well, I want to enjoy the Chevelle. This is where I made the mistake of cutting everything up, is I literally just had to fix a knocking 350 and I could be driving this. But I was like, you know what? No. I want a back window because I didn't have one and I couldn't put one back in. Still can't. Sure you're sick of my rambling, so I'll stop. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'm open to any advice. I'm open to any questions. Let me know what I can do to get you the style of content you prefer as well. You want me to narrate over these videos? Let me know, and I'll start working on that and figuring that one out. But up to this point, it's probably just gonna be music. I don't know. I have a backlog of 8 videos that I haven't video edited before I get to this one, and I'm only doing one a week. So it's gonna be it's gonna be 2 months essentially by the time you see this video from when it was done. But I'm still on there and I'm constantly reading the comments. So, just don't expect a quick turnaround to your advice, but I will listen. With that, thank you.